We should be live. As always, just need a few moments to start all the details and start all the outlets so that we can go live. I think we are live right now. Just the problem,
There is a
guys.
live icon above.
Yeah, it should be fine. I'm just checking if it's on each and every place that we should be going live, but I guess it's okay. Save changes, yeah, and it's fine. Hi guys. Obviously, for this one, we are switching to English, which we are very happy about because we have a great international crowd during our S4 Summit 2024 in the speakers community, but also in our viewers community. So it's great that for this one, we're switching to English. Get your data ready for AI and fast track your insights with Tableau Pulse. This is the name of the presentation that will be given by two of our speakers who've already joined me in our live S4 Summit. So joining us today, as you can see on your screen, is Eva de Vries, who is a Salesforce professional with over 8 years of experience. She combines her deep knowledge of the Salesforce ecosystem with her passion for data management. Her specialized focus centers on ensuring and guarding data quality while exploring its dynamic relationship with the latest AI advancements. And also on your screen, you can see Michal Drazil, who has been diving deep into the world of data, building expertise in BI, data warehouse analytics, and CRM for over 10 years now, and primarily he's done so within the financial sector. Right now, his focus is solely on Salesforce consulting, where he combines his great experience of Salesforce and Tableau so that he can empower businesses. He's very passionate about transforming complex data into clear, actionable insights, essentially helping businesses speak data to make informed decisions and achieve their goals. We are very happy to have you guys here with us, joining us from NextView Consulting. Guys, just let me remind you that if you have any questions, if there's something that is very interesting to you, or you have any concerns, you want to check something with our speakers, with our experts, please do so. Leave your questions in comments. I will be sure to present them to our speakers once I join them in the Q&A session. Michal, Eva, great to have you here. Hi, guys.
Thank you so much, Dorota, and thank you for the extensive introduction. So I guess that it will be easier for us and we don't have to introduce ourselves that much. As you already heard and here now, the presentation will be in English, even though Eva could speak to you in Polish, but we decided to go for a full English because otherwise the interaction between us would be very limited and I could not understand a word probably. So I guess this would be much better. So quickly about ourselves, just adding our roles within NextView, where we cover both so-called competence lead role, Eva for data foundations, where she deals with things like data quality, of course, or data migrations. From my side, it is called decision intelligence. And the main, let's say, areas I cover would be reports, dashboards, Tableau, CRM analytics, and data analysis in general, let's say. Let me also quickly share something about our company, NextView. We are a dedicated Salesforce partner. And by dedicated, I mean that we focus only on Salesforce technology, but as you know, the family is growing and is bigger and bigger. So it includes also, let's say, for example, Snowflake, Tableau, potentially also Slack, and so on. So we are here to help in all the areas, and we are one of the leading European Salesforce partners. And we have more than 200 colleagues or dedicated Salesforce professional, and in total, we are speaking about more than 1,000 certifications. So I hope we can really help you with any potential digital transformations or challenges ahead of you. What is quite unique about NextView is also that we use our design-led approach, where we put the customer and its needs into the center without or before speaking about any technology. At the same time, I believe we have a strong industry expertise in areas like manufacturing, professional services, or financial sector. And last but not least, we like to have fun when doing our work and do good to the world and give back. So at the same time, we are certified B Corp. We are part of the 1% pledge. We have a lot of volunteering activities or other things like mass cleanup or plastic whale, where we try to fight the plastic pollution in waters and rivers at the same time. So that was a super quick introduction. And now I would like to let Eva speak about the topic, get your data ready for AI. And I guess we need to switch the screen sharing. So give us a second.
We already did.
Cool. Go on, Eva.
Okay, so without any further ado, let's start. So one of the things that AI without a doubt has already achieved, right? It's bringing more attention to an awareness of data and data quality. I'm sorry, my printer is on. So we as a consultant know that in starting the data quality discussion at every single one of our projects, it's very important part of our job. Why? As you can see here on the slide, almost 40% of business initiative will fail to reach its target because of the pure data. So, of course, the data is not the only aspects that the company has to look at when thinking about joining the AI train, right, and starting AI initiative. There are many others that, although the focus on our workshop is right now, or the presentation, it's on the data, I would like to shortly introduce the other ones as well, just to draw the holistic picture. So let's start from the business value readiness. Like with everything, also with AI, you cannot boil the ocean, right? You have to have the companies have to choose the suitable business use case in order to have the right thing to focus on. They have to assess its value proposition, whether it's actually the right thing to focus on. Ethics and governance, I think it's a very clear one. We are now aware of the cases when AI start being racial, discriminating. As a client, you want to prevent it from happening. You have to have policies and procedures in place in order to make sure that your clients will not get hurt by AI. Infrastructure, also very important one. You can look at it from two perspectives. It's from the machine learning infrastructure and the data infrastructure. So when we talk about the machine learning infrastructure, right, is there enough GPU? Is there enough memory? From the data infrastructure, is there, like, for example, data lake available? All the things in place that are needed in order to develop, integrate, and maintain models. And another one, or organizational readiness, it's whether I think it's one of the most important ones, right? So even if you fix all the other ones, but you're not going to have people that are going to actually support and work with this initiative, it's not going to work. So basically, organizational one, it's is it management supporting the AI initiative? Do people that are going to work with it, do they have the right skills? Do you have talent in place? Right now, very difficult one that's going to, again, develop, integrate, and maintain all those models. And of course, the last but not least, data readiness, right? Are there procedures and processes in place to ensure that data is and stay high quality? So here we enter the very interesting discussion, model-centric versus data-centric. And that's not, here I would like to stress straight away, it's not one or the other. We need both. However, for a very long time, the model-centric AI was more popular. And model-centric AI, basically, it's focusing on developing and improving the models and algorithms and putting a huge amount of data to it, right, to kind of gain the performance. Data-centric AI, look at it a bit different. And it hasn't been, it was almost there. The concept was always there, but it's become to be more and more popular around 2000 when the big data came and so on. because then people will actually realize that not only looking at the model, but also looking at the data that we put into the model will make difference. So basically, the data-centric AI is treating the data as a key aspect while developing the AI infrastructure, right? And it has been proven that you need less resources and less data to that high performance when you're using the data-centric AI. And again, it's not one or the other, but you need both of them. And keeping that in mind, we have to be aware also that when we're talking about data quality, we're going to look at differently from the predictive AI and generative AI. From the predictive AI, it's a bit more simple. I mean, I don't know if it's the right word to use, but let's say it for like this. You know, you have the train set and the test set and the production set, and that's what you can influence to kind of get the model performance. However, with generative AI, it's not only the pre-trained data that's going to influence your model, but it's also the data that you're going to put to your prompt. It's also going to depend what kind of outcome you're going to get. Further, it's not only the prompt and pre-trained data, it's also the data that you insert with the prompt that's going to determine the quality and the relevance of the things that you're going to get. So you need a multidisciplinary approach for generative AI in order to get it organized. Very important thing to be aware of. So keeping all those theory in mind, the question that we quite often get from our clients, okay, so where do I start? Where do I start? And from my experience, the answer that I'm always providing is start from creating awareness. As I mentioned previously, initiating data quality discussion might be sometimes challenging, but it's very important. Because whenever you hear there is AI coming to an initiative to our organization, starting data quality discussion is going to be crucial to ensure that it's going to be successful, right? Because sometimes on the way we create awareness, you have to push it, been there, done that. But if it actually eventually leads to the action, that's what you want, right? And from action, whether it's cleansing the data or whether it's enriching the data, you have to assess it, whether the action that you took actually have the right outcome. And guess what? That's the beauty of data quality. The assessment will create more awareness because data quality is ongoing process. It will never end. It's going to be all going on and on because as long as the world's going to change and it's changing, the data is going to be changing, right? So this circle is going to be going on and on. At the same time, it's very important to keep in mind that if you want to do it only on the data itself, although you might get data clean, you won't be able to keep it clean. Why? Because if you're not going to focus also on the other pillars of your organization, like people, technology, and processes, keeping data clean is going to be a quite big challenge. When we talk about people, do the people in the organization know and understand why and how they can keep data clean? If not, then we have already a problem. Technology. Is the technology that is there in place, it's actually built in a way that it's able to guard, but also to monitor data. Very important aspect. If not, we have again challenge. We won't be able to keep the data clean. Processes. Whichever process we design, is the process that we are designing keeping the data standards in mind? If not, you can expect that quite quickly data are gonna get, the quality of data is gonna go down again. So you need this holistic approach in order to ensure that you have clean data quality, high data quality, and that you keep data high data quality. So at the NextView, we have a standard approach that we are using to address those issues. We have 5 steps that I would like to shortly talk and discuss. So the very first one, it's a typical, right? Getting the right people, getting the scope and so on. Here also we discuss the things I discussed previously, which basically means, choosing the right user case. Be very sharp on what kind of user case you use. That's also where we're going to come back to that one. And then we're going to go to the second step, data analysis, solution design, and so on. And here we're going to approach it from many different perspectives. So, of course, we're going to look at the data, and we're going to look at the key data element that's a part of that user case. And we're going to measure it against the dimension that client chose. If not, we can help choosing the dimension, right? I'm going to explain what the dimension is, but for now, it's just something we can measure our data quality against. And then we're going to see the gap analysis and see what we have to do in order to fix it. At the same time, coming to the previous slide that I showed, it's not only, we're not going to look at the data, we're also going to look at, policies and procedures. Are there policy and procedure in place that when we fix the data is going to be fixed, right? And stay fixed and will remain high quality. We're going to look at the governance. Is there governance in place to make sure that if something is going wrong with data, that there are that there are owners that know what to do and when to do it. And also, sometimes it's necessary to look at the people and give them some trainings, right? And again, one of the things we're going to do. So then we're going to the cleansing. So then we're going to clean the data. Of course, you have 2 things. We're going to clean the data, but at the same time, you have to straight away ensure that the bad data will not get into this, for example, Salesforce, right, in this case. So, for example, the famous validation rules, right, making sure that you close all the leaks that are already there while at the same time cleaning the data. Data validation and solution testing, right, I think it's part of every project. So actually reviewing with the clients whether what we delivered is according to his standards and expectations. And 5, data monitoring and maintaining. Again, the very important part that I already mentioned, it will change. So it has to be monitored, it has to be maintained, there has to be procedure in place to ensure when the gaps are spotted again, that they're going to be quickly fixed. And although we do have the standard approach, we're gonna approach it in different way for structured data. There's gonna be some difference between the way we approach it for structured data and unstructured data. And for this summit, I think I put the structured data as the first one. Structured data, right? It's just the data that is predefined, working in predefined schema in the data model, so Salesforce, objects, fields, and so on. Standard structured data. Thinking about that one, so dimensions. Here I come to the definition of dimensions. So what is dimension? Dimension is actually the elements against which you can measure your data quality. And there are, when you look at the theory, there are many different dimensions, and there are many aspects we can look at them. The one that I chose here are the ones that are most commonly used. So that's why I chose them, right? But again, please keep in mind, there are more that you can choose from. So starting from the first one, completeness. Speaking in Salesforce term, is the data in a field? If we identify key data element on a certain object, this field should be populated, right? There should be data in it. There should be accurate data in it, but to start with, there should be a data in it. Uniqueness. Again, in Salesforce terms, if we account record, is every single account record unique? Or do we have duplications, right? If you have the duplication, if you have double the same account record twice, we have a problem. Timeless. So there's different way to look at this dimension, One of them is how up to date is your data, right? So, for example, when you speak to the client, and it doesn't really matter for which aspect, but when was the last time when you actually checked with these clients whether the data that you kept in your Salesforce, and it doesn't have to be whole data, right? But the key data elements that are very important for you were actually checked and actually are up to date? And do you have even field where you can populate that once you do it and check it, that the field will keep the data in order to ensure that in agreement period of time, you're going to do the assessment again. Very important part. Validity is like, there are certain constraints that are given to data, and the data should follow those constraints. Accuracy, I'm going to come back to it shortly because it's a very interesting dimension, but it's also going to be discussed for unstructured data. So for now, I would like to kind of park it. Consistency, right? Is your data across your architecture the same? Is the data that we have in a, for example, is the account address the same for Salesforce as in the other system, right? So very important. Luckily, even though it's not always perfect, we have way to clean it, to deal with it. What we do, we're gonna start with data profiling, which it's basically right, looking statistically looking for discrepancy, for missing values, for abnormalities, you call it. And you can use different techniques for it, for example, frequency distribution. And once we identify those things, then we're going to go to data cleansing, right? So that's where we're going to make sure that the data is fixed. And here, I just, as an example, I choose the data parsing techniques. Again, many different techniques available. Normalization, we might need to, after analyzing the data, we might need to say that we have to kind of divide sets of data into the smaller parts, right? To make it more, to increase the quality. Important one. Deduplications, I think for Salesforce users or admin, a deduplication, it's a very obvious one, right? Again, come to the uniqueness, make sure that the records that should be there, for example, accounts, are the unique ones. And data enrichment, it's basically enhancing the existing data that we already have by adding additional data from third parties. That might be different ones, right? You can, in the Netherlands, we have KVK, so it's kind of Chamber for Commerce. You name it, many possibilities, but at the same time, very important part. So that's when we talk about the structured data. But unfortunately, around 85, depends what kind of theory you follow, around 85 of data that is correctly produced is unstructured data, right? And although the dimension that we previously discussed also are relevant for unstructured, there are like those 3 dimensions that are more relevant, in my opinion at least, to unstructured data than structured data. So interpretability, it's basically is whether the thing that I expected, what I'm getting back from for example, from AI, right? So for example, if I expected on the slide to receive from the AI like a real life picture of 2 people dancing, it would be wrong. It will fail, right? It's not what it's there. It's an animation, it's icon. Relevancy, it's whether the data that I receive from the model, is it relevant for the task that I have to fulfill? For example, again, if I had to show you 2 people picture, real life picture, it wouldn't be relevant. And accuracy, that's the one that is very interesting one. And during the different project, I had the pleasure of seeing some challenges in it, because the simple theory about accuracy, it's how the data reflect real life. But that's also when the simplicity ends and the challenge starts, right? Because what real life? definition of real life will vary per person, per process, per field. So there are usually, when clients choose the accuracy, we do have discussion about, okay, what do we understand? For example, if we say employee number, right? We have business account on Salesforce. One of the fields we have there, it's employee number of employees. What is the definition of accuracy for this field? For one company, when the number of employee, maybe insurance company, is going to be important one, the accuracy, it has to be exactly the same as the one is Chamber of Commerce. And even though if the Chamber of Commerce data might also not be exact and reflect the reality, we can define it as an accurate if it's the same as Chamber of Commerce, right? Again, also there, luckily, we have many ways to clean it, to organize it, to fix it. So we have data prep, we have tokenization, for example, right? One of the techniques, enriching recognition. So for example, that's when the NLP is going through the data, looking for the names, addresses, and so on and so on. Document deduplications, already mentioned. Image processing, right? Also very important one when it comes to unstructured data. So objects detections, but also like noises. Are there any noises that are there? The same with the audio, right? Speaker, is the right speaker, is the speaker who is saying this the right speaker? Is it different? It's the text that speaker said. It's linked to the right speaker, but also noises there, and quality assessment, right? So those are all the things that we can do in order to ensure that we increase the data quality for unstructured data. And some of you might also ask, but cannot AI fix its data? Well, yes and no, right? The part of data quality in this case is you need high quality data to kind of be able to train it, to train model, right? So to improve data quality, you still need high quality data for model to improve it. And there's also other parts that are important to mention, right? For example, we see also one of the things that are also recently been in news, right? That is that AI model can collapse. We see that when the AI is trained on synthetic data from the old models, they tend to get worse with time. So, and eventually they might got like unexpected behavior, something which have to be aware of. So, so yes, there are apps, and there are more and more apps that are kind of working, providing a solution to, for example, address unstructured data challenges. There are some solutions, but they will not be able to fix every single one of the aspects of the data quality that we discussed today, right? So what to do first? What the things that to do, I think, most important thing that I would like you to take from my part of this presentation is start with treating your data as an asset it is. Right now with the AI, it's, data quality, it's becoming more and more a matter of gaining and keeping the business competitive advantages. And that's it from me. Now I'm going to pass it you to Michal.
Thank you, Eva, very much. And thank you, Dorota, for switching the screens. I hope, it works. I do a short pause here. Please don't forget, of course, share your questions or comments in the chat and via the various channels. And before I dig deep into my topic, I would just like to remind you or ask you to don't forget about our virtual booth where amazing guys, Philip and Jarek, will greet you. Definitely meet them there. As I said, we are a European partner. with the headquarters in Netherlands, but we have a strong presence in CEE, including Poland and Czech Republic. So even if you're interested in potential or seeking a Salesforce job, please say hello. I believe it definitely will be fun with these two amazing people. So, and now into my topic. My topic is Tableau Pulse, which is one of the applications of the AI. It's a hot topic. It's a relatively new product, just 2 months and so on. But why we put these two topics together? It's very easy, and I think Eva mentioned that now with the hype of AI, to think that bring me an AI and it will solve everything for me, for us, for the whole company, and AI will eventually replace us, etc., etc. But please bear in mind that the first half of our presentation is what really matters, because AI will not solve your issues unless you do your homework in terms of data ownership, assessment, and cleaning, and so on. So, and as Eva said, in different words, and sorry for the words, if it's like garbage in, garbage out. So if you provide AI wrong data, you will not get a quality insight. So let me just very quickly comment about Tableau. We are on a Salesforce conference, so I believe everyone heard term Tableau before. What is it? It's one of the, I think, Gartner quadrant leaders, with one of the competitors, which I will not name, in the visualization and, let's say, BI tools. It's here for already some time. I think it's more than 20 years. And around 6 years within a Salesforce family. So it's an amazing tool for self-service BI, building dashboards, infographics, or explore the data, or embed it into interactive portals. And it also has a strong data preparation layer. So and here we are again speaking about the topic of preparing our data for visualization or analytics. So, and now Tableau Pulse. This is already a first demo. You can see. I think I still have maybe less than 20 minutes, but I have just a couple of slides. So if there's a time at the end, I will try to share or show you Tableau Pulse live. But it depends on how much time we still have. So as I said, this is a relatively new product, totally new product within a Tableau family. It's application of the AI, of course, even though even before there were features like Ask Data or data explorations, which definitely included some of the, let's say, at least predictive analytics, if not generative. But this is a new product with a new, let's say, look and feel. You will definitely see some differences in how it actually works in comparison, for example, to standard reports and dashboards you are used to. And at the same time, as it's new, it's generally available just a couple of weeks. It's still under, let's say, rapid development. In every couple of weeks, there are new features and, of course, some bug fixes and things like that. So it's still evolving, and it will be, I guess, but in a very rapid form. So just the core features, let's say, yes, I already mentioned that it's powered by Tableau AI, but what is specific, that it's really a personalized experience for basically every user. It looks a little bit differently and gives the insights about his or her area and of interest. So if you're CFO, if you're CIO, if you're data scientist, whatever, you open a Tableau Pulse and have your KPIs visualized in a way that will give you some insights. And at the same time, of course, as I mentioned, and it's fair to say that yes, it's a reimagined data experience, and it's at this point, I would say, aimed for let's say C-level executives mainly, or people with less, let's say, data experience, and so on. And this is amazing about this tool, that you don't have to be, let's say, data engineer or scientist or analyst to be able to really dig deep into your data and hear or get the insights immediately. and it helps everyone basically to do this. And at the same time, as I said, if you open your laptop in the morning, you can go as a first thing to see how your KPIs evolved. But you don't have to. You can get it in your email. You can get it in Slack. You can consume it via different challenges. When it comes to data security, this is of course part of this, let's say, Einstein or Tableau trust layer. So no data leaves actually the Tableau cloud environment, and the Einstein trust layer make sure it's secure. What I would like to say, it's addition to your existing analytics or dashboards, reports, and so on. It is not here to replace it. Definitely not. It is something, and I would even say it's cherry on top of your existing analytics. Maybe to bring you new users and make their life easier. But it will not, at this point, replace what you know about Tableau and all the amazing features in self-service BI or analytics. I will maybe comment on this a little bit later as well. And what's fair to say at this point, it's only a feature for Tableau cloud users. So if you run a Tableau server, you're not at this point able to use this feature. But what is good at the other side is that at this point, again, it's for free. And by for free, I mean that you still need to have and pay for your Tableau licenses, but this is not an add-on or extra paid feature. So if you have at least one creator license on your Tableau cloud server, you can start playing around with Tableau Pulse. Maybe one last thing I forgot to mention, and it's quite important. It's that it gives you the opportunity to build your, let's say, central KPI repository around your core metrics or KPIs you use, and use Tableau to curate your KPIs. So let me just quickly share the details about the Tableau Pulse architecture. This screenshot is actually from the official Tableau documentation. So basically, very high level architecture, not a technical one, I would say. As I mentioned, there's a metrics layer where you store your KPIs you would like to visualize and get insights for as a layer number one. On top of that, there's the AI, of course, core feature about insights and automatic detection of the insights and pattern and changes and everything, with generative AI commenting on those insights. And on the third layer, this is also something I already shared just quickly, that you get those insights in your flow of work, for example, in Slack or so. So, what do you need to start with Tableau Pulse? Well, I would say the colored icons is actually the core. And that's, again, something that I already mentioned. You have to, or you should do your homework in terms of data preparation. And to be fair, this, let's say, top layer is 80% of your effort. And that's where the core effort really lies. So that means you need first, of course, ideally, and back to Eva again, clean data for AI, basically, where you need to prepare and assess if you can use the data for this, let's say, use case. And secondly, you need to know your business very well and know your data. Of course, there are plenty of data sources and probably discrepancies, inconsistencies, and so on. So you need to be able to understand what the data actually says. And at the same time, I guess another big part of this implementation will be around company KPIs and descriptions and understanding, where it's not that easy to define and to get unanimous agreement across the company about all the KPIs. You can say, yeah, profit margin, it's clear, but then you go and ask different people and you will get different answers. And you need this agreement, because then Tableau Pulse will present a KPI called profit margin, and yeah, you need to get what you expect or what the executives expect. So, and at the bottom layer, we have, let's say, the technical requirements, which is, of course, as I already mentioned, Tableau Cloud subscription. You need to have the data source, and your data source needs to have a time dimension. And ideally, not, let's say, necessarily, you need to have historical data. And of course, if you want to see trends, let's say more than 1 year ago, and so on, the history is, of course, needed. You can start from now and get, let's say, the history from the existing data. It's not a must, but it's very good recommendation, I would say. It's same like with the predictive analytics. You can't predict future without knowing a history. Here, AI helps. I would say pretty well, but yeah, the bigger history you can have, the better. And here, just I would say a recap. I will not go one by one in this case. It's just everything I already mentioned here. What are the core features? And I hope we still get at least a couple of minutes to show you how Tableau Pulse looks and feels. So yeah, again, it's powered by AI and automatically detects the trends and gives you even the insights in terms of why something happened potentially. What are the trends, and get you some explanations. It definitely brings the data closer to your business users, because, and I know it from my experience, yeah, many users will never open Tableau Cloud to find their visualization dashboard or so. This is maybe a new hot topic which looks good and is very easy to digest and consume. So it's definitely a good direction. Also, it's available on mobile, so on the go via Tableau Android or iOS app, it works. And yes, if you do your homework right, you can get your Tableau Pulse layer, let's say, very quickly in terms of days and not months, as with some other, let's say, analytics initiatives. But yeah, don't get me wrong, you still need to be prepared and you need to do your homework, as I said several times. So I believe we still might have a couple of minutes to show you the demo. Now, wish me luck, because at this point I have only one screen and I need to switch the streaming or sharing my screen. So hopefully it will work, and wish me luck one more time, because as you know, this is not a scripted demo, and with every live demo, something goes wrong. So I hope it will not be a disaster. Maybe Eva, can you confirm you can see Tableau Pulse? Can you help me?
Yeah, you're right.
Good, amazing. So I think we still have 5 or 7 minutes to show you around a little bit how Tableau Pulse really looks like. So I hope it's readable at least somehow. So this is the home screen, and as I said, it looks differently from typical Tableau Cloud. And again, this is customized for every single user. These tiles, every single one I was choosing if I want to see it here or not, and every user will have a different experience. If you are a sales manager, you will have a different set of metrics than CIO or so. So this is one of the features. At the same time, first, generative AI is here. It's refreshed actually once a day, I think, not more than that, but you already see a short summary. This is the first thing you can read in the morning, that what happened in your data. So you already see an increase and so on. And then you can see the specific charts or spark lines. So let's start with a typical one. We have our metric, which is total sales. So I will just open the detail, and then I got the information. What's the actual result, and what are the comparison to previous period in terms of previous month to date last year and this year, and you have a chart and you already have some auto-generated explanations. You can go deeper in terms of breakdown, for example, and define your filters, what you would like to see. So you can look for total sales divided by segment, region, category, or state or province, and it gives you the insights immediately here. There again, there's let's say a list of filters you can do. So instead of let's say month to date, I would like to go to year to date to see a longer trend. And let's see, I'm not interested in all subcategories or categories. Let's say I want to see only technology. So you change your filters here, and it generates a new trend or new information for you again, and you can go and dig deeper into the breakdown. And now you see the subcategories are only the technical one: copiers, phones, accessories, and machines, and so on. So, and if you see you like this, that's where you say, yes, I want to have this on my home screen, and you go and click follow. You can manage your followers here as well, or add your colleagues, for example, or at the same time, you can do it all the time, basically here in preferences, where you can get your digest in Slack or email or so, and set up the frequency. What is really nice are those insights you can get, and it works at this point like this, that you get the information like small hints where you see which subcategory decreased, which increased the most, which region had the high total sales or so. So yeah, in this case, you get the different type of insights where you dig deeper into what's happening actually in your data. And there is a new cool feature now, Ask Data in a different way, where you can just type your question. And I have to say, it's not 100% natural language. If I just type what is the trend, I think it will work the way that it will try to guess what I'm asking and will give me one of the options. But if I say what are the top drivers, I think at this point it will not really get my question right. So, but yeah, this new feature is like there for 3 weeks or so. So I guess it will definitely get better over time. So now I added a new metric to my home screen, and here it is again. After a next data refresh, it will be here, and that's of course one more thing not to forget about, to make sure your data gets refreshed, ideally automatically, and so on. So there is much more to show, but I guess we don't have enough time for that. So this was a very short sneak peek. One last thing, you can definitely browse your metrics and see how they, which are available and which you can use. So we can have, for example, average discount, and here you can see all the options that someone already created or followed or so. I can, as an admin, I can edit the definition here, where I really pick what measure, what type of aggregation, what time dimension I use, and so on. And here you already set the set of filters which are available at this point. You can get some additional insights already here when you create the metric definition and see what makes sense for you in terms of insight types and so on. So there is definitely much more. As I said, it was a super quick sneak peek, but definitely, as I said, don't hesitate to reach out to Phil or Jarek, or even if you have some additional questions about Tableau Pulse, they will definitely pass it to myself, and I can get back to you. So now I end my screen sharing, and I hope I'm back And that's it from me. Dorota?
Hello. Okay, so now it's time for our Q&A session, and we do have some questions. Thank you very much for your presentation and also for this super quick but very packed with information demo. Okay, so let's see the first one. Guys, we still have some time. We still have around 10 minutes, so if anybody has a question, please leave them in the comments. And this is the first one. Can Tableau Pulse be embedded in your internal web portal?
Great question, because this is something I forgot to mention. Definitely, yes. There is a way, or there is the embed API to use to build your custom applications, to embed it in your custom portals. Or, of course, within a Salesforce ecosystem, there's a LWC component, which can be used to embed the Tableau Pulse on your Salesforce environment, on the record levels, and so on. And there, I think there's another API for your custom insights. So you don't have to receive the insights only by Slack or email, but you can have your custom solution using the same basically machine. And working in your environment. So at the end, you don't have to log into Tableau Cloud, and you can embed this in your daily life or on the homepage of your intranet or whatever.
Okay, what are the expected generative AI use cases now and in the future?
So I think I will answer these questions. So what we expect, it's like what we call three horizons or waves, however you want to call it. It's, I think, the first one, which we already there, right? So that's like, for example, what I'm using the ChatGPT for, it's like the general knowledge, and I'm basically using it to translate, for example, some text, right? So that's the first one. We are also kind of entering the second stage, which is when the company information is gonna get infused along the prompt to create like personalized proposal, personalized company tailor information, and so on and so on. And eventually, I think we're gonna get to the point which we call the third one, and that's when an industry-specific knowledge, right? So, for example, me working a lot in financial services, like, you know, for example, fraud detection. That will be a very interesting one for the financial industry specific, when the best of the best models for the industry will be implemented, you know, industry-wise. So I think that's going to answer the question.
Great. Another one. Hi guys, interesting topic. From your point of view, are there any limitations or situations in which Tableau Pulse may be less effective? Greetings from Gdańsk.
I guess this will be a question for me. I would say, yes, there definitely are limitations at this point. And I would like to emphasize here that really Tableau Pulse is this cherry on top. You should first ideally start with the standard analytics and reports or dashboards, where I would say one of the limitations, and you just saw that, is that you focus, even though you have this cockpit at the beginning. I'm not calling a dashboard, but you pick just one metric, KPI. You can say average discount, you have say total sales, you have say number of claims, and they do not interact with each other. With your standard dashboard you can build in Tableau, you can have these drill downs that you select a filter in one visualization, it will filter your second. You can choose the account and then filter on cases of this account, and this does not work like this at this point, and I'm not sure if ever will. So the use case is different. So start with your typical implementation, and for subset of KPIs, which are very nice visualized during a time, just one metric. But for example, even if you want to compare plan versus reality, these can be two metrics. So you either need to create a one junction metric or combined metric and then use it, or you have some limitations there. So yeah, that's it.
We have another one about Tableau Pulse. Can it handle data from various sources and in different formats? If so, which ones do we know about?
Oh, yeah. Another one for me, I guess, simply yes, because the limitation is, it is there, but every data format or connector which is available at this point with Tableau Core, you can use. And you know that probably that there's a really extensive list of all the connectors. You can go SQL Server, Teradata Informatica, Salesforce, Google, BigQuery, whatever data you can connect and get into Tableau Cloud. Those data you can use in Tableau Pulse. So it is again about the data prep or the data layer where you combine those data sources, aggregate, and so on. And once you have a published data source on Tableau Cloud, then it can be used for Tableau Pulse. So there are no limitations. The requirement is to, at the end, have a published data source on Tableau Online or Tableau Cloud. So yeah, there's a whole list, including all the CSVs and Excel files and everything you can think of when working in Tableau.
Great. And I'm checking if there are any new questions, but I can see that this was actually the last one for now. So thank you guys so much. That was great. Thank you, says Jana. Jarek says, well done, Eva and Michal. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us during S4 Summit. It was great meeting you. And I believe we can also meet you guys on the NextView booth on our online space. We can meet you there, right?
Absolutely.
Thank you guys so much. And we'll see you very, very soon. And for now, we're heading to a short break, and I will meet you guys at 2:30. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you.